Hello and welcome. Today we have a nice gentle flow to open up the hips. You may want a block and a strap to support your practice. We will begin in a seated position. So closing down the eyes and taking hands onto the knees. Taking gentle inhales and exhales through the nose. And lengthening the crown up towards the sky, creating a nice long spine. And visualize roots growing into the earth beneath you. You are the connection between Mother Earth and Father Sky. And just softening the shoulders away from the ears. And beginning to take nice big shoulder rolls going backwards. So really exaggerating the movement, drawing shoulders up towards the ears, and then shoulder blades come together behind the back as they travel down. And reversing those circles, so shrugging your shoulders forwards. Again, making the movement as big as possible. And then bringing that to a stop. Bringing hands to heart center. You can open the eyes. We'll inhale as the prayer travels up. And then exhale, opening to cactus, really drawing the shoulder blades together, elbows travel towards each other. And then inhale, prayer travels up. Exhale, open to cactus, really opening through the chest. Inhale as the prayer travels up. Exhale to cactus. And one more time, inhale, hands to sky, and exhale. Staying in cactus now, we'll take a nice big inhale here, and then exhale, twist towards the left. Seeing how far around you can take it. And then coming back to center, inhale here, and then exhale, taking it the other way. Coming back to center, place fingertips beside you. Inhale, hand to sky. Exhale, finding a side bend. And then coming all the way up again. Inhale, hand to sky. And exhale, taking it the other way. Feeling each of those ribs open up. And then coming all the way up again. We'll interlace the hands behind the back. Draw shoulder blades together, heels of the hands together. Inhale, lift the eye gaze. And then exhale, fold forward, bringing hands over the head. And slowly rolling up. Interlacing the fingers in front of you, this time pushing palms away, dropping chin to chest. Really opening the space between the shoulder blades. And then releasing the hands, Bring the palms behind you, fingers facing away. And then just bringing the soles of the feet onto the mat and window wiping the knees. Just beginning to bring some movement into the hips. And then finding a half dragonfly. So bending one foot in and lengthening the other leg. And then walking hands out in front, dropping chin to chest. And then walking hands back in, changing the legs. And again, walking hands out in front, dropping the head. And then walking hands in. And this time coming into full dragonfly. So lengthening both legs. And slowly walking hands out in front. Dropping the head. And really firing up the thighs. So drawing the toes towards you. Really breathing into the inner thigh. And then slowly coming up and bringing soles of the feet together, finding butterfly, and then wrapping the hands around the toes and pulsing the knees. Keeping spine nice and long. Really working the glutes to draw those knees down. And then we'll inhale here as we lift through the chest. And then exhale, hinge forwards, really drawing those knees open. Breathing into inner thigh. And then rolling up and coming into fire log or double pigeon. So taking the shin parallel to the top of the mat and then bringing the opposite ankle onto the knee. And then just slowly allowing the knee or the gap between the knee and the ankle to close. We're really drawing the toes towards the shin to protect the knee. And breathing really deeply. You'll probably start off with quite a big gap, but slowly you'll find that the knee will come towards that bottom foot. And if it's comfortable, you can apply some gentle pressure. Just being mindful of any knee pain. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly come out. Lean back on the hands, window wipe the knees just to ease any tension. And then changing sides, so bringing the opposite leg underneath this time. Stacking ankle onto knee. And then just slowly allowing that gap to close. And just noticing if one side feels slightly easier than the other. And again, the option to bring the forearms onto that top leg. Last couple of breaths here. And then slowly making your way out. Again, bringing the soles of the feet onto the mat and window wiping the knees. And then just spinning around, locating your strap. And then we'll come into Navasana. We'll fire up the core. So either shins are parallel or lengthening the legs, drawing navel to spine, lift through the chest. And allowing the breath to carry you. And then bringing soles of the feet down and slowly rolling all the way down onto the back. So palms facing up, engaging the core and just rolling down super slowly under control. And then coming all the way down, taking hold of your strap and bringing it around the sole of your left foot. We'll lengthen the leg up towards the sky. Right leg can lengthen along the mat. And then just walking your hands up the strap and drawing the leg towards you. We're engaging the quad, so squeezing the thigh, lifting the kneecap. This will help to lengthen down the back of your leg. And just breathing here. And then placing your right hand on the right side of your pelvis and slowly dropping this left foot open. So again, really taking the weight through that left arm, drawing the foot open but also towards your head. So we're lengthening down the back of the thigh at the same time as lengthening through the inner thigh. And then drawing that foot back to center, removing your strap and changing sides. So taking it around the right sole of the foot and lengthening left leg along the mat. And again, just noticing if one side is slightly easier. Again, squeezing that quad, lifting the kneecap. And slowly lengthening down the back of the right leg. And then taking the weight into the right hand, anchoring the left side of the pelvis down and slowly dropping open the right foot. And again, we're drawing that foot up towards your head at the same time as down towards the floor. And then drawing that leg back to center, removing your strap, putting it to one side, and then placing the left sole of the foot onto the mat, bringing the right ankle onto the left thigh, and then just easing that right thigh away from you. So really pushing the knee away, so you can feel that through the outer glute, as well as the inner thigh. And then threading the arms through the legs, taking hold of the back of the left thigh or the shin, and drawing legs towards you. Seeing if you can squeeze that leg a bit, that ankle a bit closer to you. And releasing the legs and changing sides. So right sole onto the mat, left ankle onto right thigh. And just using your hand to ease that thigh away. And then reaching the arms through, taking hold of the right thigh, and then drawing legs towards you. Seeing if you can squeeze the legs a little bit closer. And then releasing the legs, Bringing soles of the feet together, letting knees drop wide and taking hold of opposite elbow above the head. So coming into reclined butterfly. And just letting go of the breath. Allowing the body to soften. And then lengthening the arms, bringing the palms together, so finding prayer. We'll take a nice big inhale here, and then as we exhale, we'll come up and reach through the legs. Inhale as we come back, lengthening the arms. And then exhale, drawing navel to spine, reaching through. We'll do that 2 more times. So inhale as we lengthen the arms overhead. Exhale, navel to spine, reach through. And 1 more time, inhale as we lengthen. And then exhale, drawing the navel to spine. And then just lengthening back, lengthening legs along the mat and finding a full body stretch. So pointing the toes, pushing palms away, shrugging the shoulders up towards the ears, squeezing the thighs, lengthening the rib cage, the belly. And then sweeping the arms down and taking hold of the back of the thighs and just rocking up and down the spine, giving the spine a massage. And then coming up to find a seated position. We'll lengthen the right leg along the mat, bringing the left sole of the foot to the inside of that leg. Turning over the extended leg and folding forwards. You can use your strap on the sole of your foot. Trying to keep the spine nice and long, so we're leading forwards with the chest. Janu Shasana A. Just breathing here. And then coming up, bringing that left foot up and over, plant it to the outside of your right leg this time. We'll sweep the right arm around the front of the left knee, drawing it in towards the body and then twisting towards the back. Drawing the right toes towards you. And seeing if with each exhale you can get a little more rotation through the spine. Taking the eye gaze as far around as it will go. And then turning towards the front and changing sides. So this time right sole of the foot comes to the inside of the left leg, turning over the left leg and folding forwards. Again, keeping spine long. Eye gaze to that left big toe. And then coming up, planting the right sole of the foot to the outside of the left thigh. And then left arm sweeps around the front of the knee and turn towards the back. Again, keeping left leg active. And turning towards the front, lengthening both legs this time, and then bringing the hands behind, fingers facing the feet, and then slowly lifting the hips and finding Purvottanasana, taking the eye gaze to look at the toes and really squeezing the glutes, pushing through the hands to lift your hips higher. And trying to roll the legs in towards each other. And then slowly lowering the hips and then finding a forward fold. So allowing the spine to round, dropping chin to chest. And then slowly rolling all the way up. And then crossing the ankles, finding all fours. And then taking knees underneath hips and just making sure you are nice and stable. And then taking the right hand to the center of the mat. We'll bring the left hand behind the back of the head and then drawing elbow towards the inside of the right arm. As we inhale, we'll take the elbow open all the way to the sky and then exhale, closing that back down. So trying to keep the spine nice and neutral. Inhale, lifting the elbow. And then exhale, closing down. So we're trying to isolate the thoracic spine. Inhale, open the elbow. Exhale, closing it down. And one more time, inhale, lift the elbow. And exhale. And then this time, inhale as we lift, extending the arm, reaching high with those left fingers. And then exhale, threading the left arm underneath the right, coming onto the shoulder. And just breathing here. Option to bring the palms together and push into that bottom elbow to increase the twist. And then bringing the right hand onto the mat, push into that hand to bring you back up. And then we'll change sides, so left hand comes to the center this time, bringing the right hand around the back of the head, bringing the elbow towards the mat. We'll inhale as we send that elbow to the sky, and then exhale, closing it down. Inhale, lifting the elbow, lift the eye gaze, and exhale. Inhale, drawing that elbow high. Exhale. And one more time. Inhale, lifting the eye gaze. And exhale. And then this time as we inhale, sending the right hand to the sky. And then exhale, threading the needle, so threading underneath the left arm, palm facing up. Option to bring palms together and push into that supporting elbow to increase your twist. And then bringing the left hand onto the mat. Inhale to push you all the way back up. Finding all fours again. And then tucking the toes, lifting to find a downward facing dog. Spreading the fingers wide, pedaling through the feet, slowly opening up the backs of the legs. And then dropping both heels towards the mat. Finding some stillness. Tuck the elbows under to flatten the shoulder blades. Drawing navel to spine. Lifting the pelvic floor. And creating a nice long spine. And then taking a deep bend in the knees, looking forwards, and then slowly finding your way to the top of your mat. So taking as many steps as you need to. We'll inhale as we lift the eye gaze, and then exhale, fold forwards. Finding a forward fold at the top of your mat. Perhaps finding some gentle movement left to right. Lengthen down the back of your neck. And then taking a bend in the knees, looking forwards, taking hold of the big toes with the peace fingers. We'll inhale as we lift the eye gaze, and then exhale, fold forwards, elbows out to sides. 5 breaths here. Really drawing belly towards the thighs. Engaging the quads. And then bending the knees, looking forwards, threading the hands underneath the feet, palms facing up. We'll inhale here, and then exhale, fold forwards again. And then bending the knees, taking the hands out, and then slowly rolling all the way to standing. Just slowly uncurling the spine. Head and neck come last. And then rolling the shoulders down the back, palms facing forwards. Rooting down through all 4 corners of the feet. And we'll work through some sun salutations. So inhale as we sweep the hands to the sky. And exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lengthen the spine, eye gaze up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, bringing knees, belly and chest down. Inhale, finding cobra, elbows hug ribs. And then exhale, tucking the toes, pushing back to find downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. And then bending the knees, looking forwards, emptying the lungs. Inhale to the top of your mat, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, coming all the way to standing. And exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, sweep the hands to the sky. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, step back, either bringing knees, belly and chest down or lowering in chaturanga, elbows hug ribs. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog, 5 breaths. Spreading fingers wide, tuck elbows under. Lengthen spine, tailbone to sky. Navel to spine. And last breath here. Looking forward, bend the knees, empty the lungs. Inhale to the top of your mat, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, coming all the way to standing. And exhale, hands through heart center. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, sweep hands to sky. Finding a back bend. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, step back, bringing knees, belly and chest down or lowering in chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. On your next inhale, we'll send the right leg to the sky. Exhale as we draw the right heel towards the left bottom, rolling that top knee open. Spreading the toes. And then slowly drawing that right knee towards the top of the mat and finding pigeon. So you may find your heel is quite close to your bottom, or you may be able to walk it a bit wider. And either staying on the hands or coming onto forearms. Being mindful of the knee. And really sending the breath into the hips. And then slowly walking the hands over to the right, bringing the left hand on top of the right hand and dropping the head. And then slowly walking hands back to center, walking the hands towards you. And then slowly drawing that right leg back and coming back to find a downward facing dog. Just slowly easing the heels down towards the mat. And then on the next inhale, sending the left leg to the sky. Exhale as we bend that top knee, rolling it open, drawing heel towards the bottom. And then super slowly drawing that left knee in between the hands and finding pigeon. Again, just playing around with the angle you want your ankle. And then finding your way down. Really settling into this pose. Finding the edge of the pose without being in any pain. And then slowly lengthening the arms out in front, taking the hands over to the left, right hand on top of the left. And then slowly taking hands back to center, walking them in. And then easing your way out of pigeon, coming to all fours. And then just easing left to right. Releasing any tension in the hips. And then slowly coming down onto the belly and finding Sphinx pose. So spreading the fingers, planting the palms. Heels up towards the sky, lifting through the chest, lift the eye gaze. And then slowly drawing the left knee up towards the top of the mat and finding a half frog pose. So we're aiming for the knee to be in line with the hip and the ankle to be in line with the knee. And we're trying to draw this left side of the pelvis towards the mat because it will want to lift up. And then lengthening that left leg and just changing sides. So again, bringing that knee in line with the hip, ankle in line with the knee, flexing the ankle and drawing that right side of the pelvis down towards the mat. You can come all the way down and bring the forehead onto the forearms. Really trying to actively draw that pelvis into the mat. And then slowly coming up, drawing that right leg back. And then we'll come into frog pose on both sides. You may want a bolster underneath your forearms, but we're trying to again keep the knee in line with the hip, the ankle in line with the knee. And then just slowly allowing the inner thigh to soften. Sending the breath into the hips. And then slowly walking the hands in, drawing the knees together. And then we'll just window wipe the knees. And then finding Navasana. Lengthening the legs, drawing navel to spine. Lifting through the heart space. And then slowly lowering the feet and rolling all the way onto the spine. Just making sure you've got your block to hand. And then drawing knees to chest, rocking left to right. And drawing some nice big knee circles. So drawing them apart and then bringing them together. And then taking them the other way. And then placing the soles of the feet down so that they're hip width apart, locating your block, and then slowly lifting the hips and finding a supported bridge. So bringing your block onto your sacrum, palms facing up. And just enjoying a few moments of stillness. Slowly feeling the belly lengthen. Giving the internal organs the space that they need. And then when you're ready, slowly pushing into the feet, lift the hips, remove your block, and slowly roll all the way down. And just hug knees to chest, rocking left to right. Giving the back a massage. And then keeping knees together, dropping knees to the left. Lengthening the right leg, the top leg, and placing opposite hand onto the outside of the ankle. Taking the eye gaze to the right. And then stacking the knees on top of each other, drawing knees to center, resetting the hips, and then dropping knees to the right. This time lengthening the right leg, placing the hand onto the outside of that, sorry, the left leg, the outside of the left leg, and then taking eye gaze to the left. And then stacking the knees on top of each other, drawing them to center, and then taking arms and legs up towards the ceiling and just taking some nice ankle and wrist circles. And then interlacing the fingers and lengthening arms and legs along the mat, finding a last full body stretch. And then finding your way into Shavasana. So lengthening legs along the mat, allowing toes to drop open, or bringing soles of the feet together and letting knees drop wide. And softening the shoulders away from the ears. Allowing the fingers to curl in towards the palms. Softening the belly. And relaxing the muscles around the hips. And allow the mind to go really quiet for a few minutes. And beginning to take slightly deeper breaths. Really ballooning the belly up towards the sky with each inhale. And then slowly drawing the knees in towards the chest. And then rolling onto one side and pausing there for a few breaths. And then slowly making your way up to a seated position. Keeping the eye gaze down. And then bringing hands to prayer. Bringing them to the third eye for clear vision. To the mouth for kind words. And to the heart space for unconditional love. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope your hips feel nice and open, and I will see you again soon.